Hey, my friends, back. I've been asked by a lot of people to continue my speech talk about my generation. I put together some facts that is really stuff that has happened, so maybe that you can get an idea. I've gotten some not very nice remarks, which is fine, but I'm not talking religion here. I'm not talking politics. I'm actually talking history, and so therefore I've made a few notes. Let me put my glasses on and let me explain what I mean to you. Every 10 years, literally every 10 years, you hear on the news, the baby boomers are turning 30, the baby boomers are turning 40, the baby boomers are turning 50, now 60. And I never understood why that was. Well, there's actually a real reason for it, and I just realized what it was very recently. You know, there were so many babies born in the late 40s that literally there was not enough hospitals, doctors, there were no pediatricians. That was a specialty that had to be created for us. Products had to be manufactured because as of today there are 78.2 million baby boomers in this world. That's not my opinion, that's a fact. And because of that fact, I guess that's why we were able to make the changes that we did, because we were so many of us. Let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about. In 1945, when the soldiers came home and had babies, did you know that there was one baby born every 8 seconds for 2 decades? Now, that's a lot. And because of that, the the manufacturing industry had to do major changes because there was just so many of us. There weren't enough doctors. There were not enough hospitals. Different manufactured items had to be created for us. One of the things that they manufactured were the TV dinners. Moms were overwhelmed by our number. When you think about it, that every 8 seconds for 10 years, for 2 decades, a baby was born, there you go. Okay. The words disc jockey was coined in 1951. I'm sorry, the word rock and roll was coined by a disc jockey in 1951. American Bandstand, this was all for us. This was all done for us because we were here and there was just so many of us. And the manufacturers wanted to keep us entertained and sell us products and our parents' products. American Bandstand started in 1952, and also Swanson Foods came out with their first TV dinner. Now think about that. Before that, there was no such thing as fast food. We came along, we were so many of us, the manufacturers said, aha, let's do something for the moms and make some money. Literally, that's the truth. In 1957, the Soviets launched Sputnik. That's the first satellite that ever went around the world, and that is what began the Cold War, and that's what scared the crap out of us, literally. In 1960, the birth control pill came in. It sort of gave us a certain sort of freedom, I guess. In 1963, JFK was assassinated, and in 1968, Martin Luther King and Robert F. Kennedy were also assassinated. This is when we were already teenagers. In 1969, Neil Armstrong was the first man on the moon, and it was also the same year that Woodstock occurred. So you can see the dichotomy of it. It was all national pride on both fronts, with us and with our astronauts going into space. Wow, we were really proud. We had to win that space race very, very badly. I think we did. In 1972, Watergate came about. The Republicans broke into the Democratic National Committee's offices, headquarters, were found out, and that led to the Nixon resignation. Two very, very, very brave men, Woodward and Bernstein, were the ones who outed that. And because of that, Nixon resigned. In 1973, Roe v. Wade was passed. 1974, Nixon resigned. And in 1980, John Lennon was killed. Now, I tell you all of this because I want you to get an idea of where we were coming from. I've been getting a lot of remarks lately that we were just nothing more than potheads and everything, and that's really not true. Advertising had to change. Now, the advertisers found an incredible chance to make money. Here were all these parents that had so many children, 78 million of us, to sell products to. They invented products. They invented toys. They invented diapers. They invented, there was just so many things they invented to make mom's life easier. Each family had an average of 4 children. 4. 4 babies. Under the age of 4, there was a baby born every year in one family. So, also pediatricians. There were no pediatricians before we came along. That's a new specialty that had to be created because there were not enough doctors to take care of us. You see what I'm saying? Everything changed. Everything really changed. Advertising also changed on television. All of a sudden, they had a brand new group of people to advertise to, and it was us. Toys, candy, clothing, makeup. This was never done before, and if you remember in my previous video, I said we were the first TV generation. This is why the advertisers latched on to us. Besides being activists, of course, in which we were, these are other consequences of why they keep talking about baby boomers. The toys were all geared to us. G.I. Joe, Barbie dolls, everything and everything you can possibly think of, all of a sudden was geared to a baby boomer. I say this to you and make this video so that you can understand that when we were born, there was just so many of us that we were literally able to make some changes. This is not to put down any other generation that came after us or before us. It's just a matter of numbers. The advertising companies saw a need, and they saw a terrific way to make money, and they did it. And so therefore, everything changed. Frozen food was never heard of before we were born. Now, I say this all to you so that you can understand that besides our political power, which is what we did have, we also made changes in our society just because of our number. So I'm making this video real quick just to give you an idea of who we were and why we were. We're still around. Now we're turning 60. The insurance companies don't know what to do with us because we are not our parents at the age of 60. We are not content to sit back and play shuffleboard or take a cruise. We want to start businesses. We want to get more involved in politics like we did when we were kids. We want to keep our vigor going. So I'm just making this video so you guys understand that the baby boomer generation is not to be laughed at. It's to be looked at as a point of reference of change. Literally change. Please, again, and I've said this before, check out the PBS show about baby boomers and why our generation became so important to every generation that came after us, because everything that we have today was manufactured because of us. I'm not saying this because I'm bragging. I'm really not. It's just history. It's the way things are. So there's a lot more to come, and I'm going to continue to talk about it. I think that you all should understand where we're coming from. Now, I'm going to say goodbye, and I really hope you enjoyed this. It's very, very interesting. I didn't even know that we had this kind of an impact on people and the government and whomever. I did my research, and I'm still doing my research, and I'm very proud of us. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Take care, guys.